We love old cemeteries and churchyards, so come with us as we explore these places for the past. There is one of our favourite graveyard signs. There is the War Memorial hiding away in the corner of the cemetery. Well, hiding away as much as a 12-foot high stone cross can ever hide away. On that side there are the names from the First World War, and on this side there's a little addendum, the Second World War. Remember also the men of this borough who gave their lives in the 1939 to 1945 war, and I've just looked over at what's behind them. Some really impressive gravestones, so let's go for a wee look. The first gravestone that we find is to the memory of Rob Watson, who's a shipmaster from Pittenweem, who died in 1801. But that's not the most interesting thing, because I think that down there is something much older. That is like a knight figure lying on his back. No idea. It will be written down somewhere, no doubt I'll be able to find it online. I'll put a wee thing up to tell you what that is, or do a voiceover so you think that I know what I'm talking about. Oh, this is so cool. This is somebody, William Watson, Baillie of this borough, who departed this life 10th of May possibly, 1657. So there you are, 1657. That is a very old gravestone. So cool. And next to it there's another quite old looking gravestone, and beyond that an even older one. I am like a pig in poop. This is the other really old looking stone in the cemetery, and I've spent the last 5 minutes trying to read this, and I've realised that my brain is not keeping up with what's actually in front of me because it's all written in Latin. This is take quite a lot of trying to tell you about this one, because I was reading it thinking my brain's not working, I can't make sense of that. It's written in Latin. And it is another Baillie, B-A-L-I-V. It's a guess, I can't really read it, but at the bottom it says Decemberis Anno Domini 1652, so I'm guessing he died on the 15th of December in the year 1652. Wow, these are all quite old and quite impressive. And over here there's another one that is quite well preserved. It is another old one, and this one over here thankfully is much easier to read. It says, "Here lies the corpse of a famous man, David Binning, skipper and late Baillie of this borough, and husband to Agnes Adamson, who departed the 1st of September 1675, his age 36. This is so cool. These gravestones are amazing, and I was so busy looking at those I didn't notice old Peter Bowman, Jappy over there, a deckhand from HMS Clarosan from the First World War, or just after the First World War. Mr. Thomas Martin of Pittenweem and his family. They've got this massive sort of headstone, and other ones are all much smaller, so he just wanted to show off, big show off Thomas Martin. If you're in the East Neuk, you've got to come to Pittenweem. That is like the one church there, and over there, the little one we walked past earlier, is the Episcopal Church, and I don't know if they're sharing this graveyard or not, but there's a wee church, and there is a much bigger and more impressive church. Because they're made of sandstone and we're close to the seaside with lots of salt in the air, a lot of these stones have weathered quite badly, but there's still details you can make out. Like this one is a guy called James Melville, who's a shipmaster, and he died on the island of St Vincent in 1836 I think. We do like finding like personal touches on these stones, and here is a poor lassie called Wee Bella Hughes, who's a grandchild of Philip Gay, who died in 1902, aged 5 months, and they actually put Wee Bella on her gravestone. That's quite a nice touch. Hello, Wee Bella. The weather is getting better, the rain has stopped, and we've found an amazing graveyard. This is shaping up to be quite a nice day, and Pittenweem is, as we already knew, quite a nice place. It's always interesting to see where our Scottish diaspora have ended up, like this guy here. Thomas Murray, who is commemorated in Pittenweem, is actually interred in Laurel Cemetery, Ontario, Canada. So there's one for all our Canadian visitors. It's quite strange how long you can spend trying to decipher these things, because this one, you get as far as who died in December, and you get to where the year is, and it's gone. So, no idea how old that tombstone is. I'm guessing quite old. We'll just call that one quite old, and you'll believe me, yeah? Not going to get too morbid, but this is a phrase that appears on an awful lot of gravestones in this graveyard. Died in infancy. There's one over there where the family had 3 children and they all died in infancy. That must have been heartbreaking. And I'm quite glad that we came over to this corner, because there is the bigger church, and there's a really nice little tomb, coffin, sarcophagus thing. I'm not sure what Egyptians would call it, a sarcophagus. I'm not quite sure what we are supposed to call it. But anyway, that date back to 1890. And next to it is this one, which looks much older. It's got some writing left on it, but it's going to be quite difficult to decipher, so I'm actually not even going to try, unless I can see something really obvious, like a skull and a crossbones and an hourglass and a skull and memento mori and all the stuff that you get on a proper old-fashioned Scottish gravestone. That one is a bit of a beauty, and it's a different aspect on that priory. There's some plaques set into the wall there from the 1850s, and there's another Commonwealth wargrave, another deckhand from the trawler Cicero, who died in 1916. The sun is illuminating the weathercock on top of the church. This is turning into a really nice day. Most of my days out with you guys are really nice. Okay, last gravestone, because it's interesting. This guy, William Lindsay, we talked about Pittenweem being a fish town. Well, William Lindsay was a fish merchant who died in 1924. And their son Edwin died in the First World War, 14 September 1914, aged 25. And then there's that sad little word again, died in infancy for George and Nellie. And in the wall of the church, amongst all the pebble dash, there's a stone from, is that 1750? Can you read that? I can't really read that. 1751, I think, but I could be wrong. And on the way out, back towards the gate, we've just spotted this one hiding away in the corner beside the bins. This is Deckhand Anderson from HM trawler Othona, who died again in the First World War. These people must have been sailing from Pittenweem, possibly. Maybe the trawlers went from here, and they were all requisitioned by the Navy, I think, possibly. HM trawler, His Majesty's trawler. Anyway, so that is Deckhand Anderson, who died in 20th of April 1917.